Heracles. The very name evokes images of unparalleled strength, unwavering courage, and heroic triumph. He is the champion of mankind, the demigod who wrestled death itself, a paragon forged in the fires of Olympus. But what if the legends only tell half the story? What if the celebrated hero was also a tormented soul, driven to an act so heinous it forever stained his very essence? The victors write history, but the 8th chapter dares to delve into the shadows, to uncover the horrifying truth behind the myth, a truth born of divine madness, drenched in blood, and etched into the soul of a broken god. Prepare to witness the descent of Heracles, not as a hero, but as a man consumed by the very forces that birthed him. From the dawn of his existence, Heracles was a pawn in a cosmic game, his destiny a cruel twist of divine lust and vengeful wrath. Born of Zeus, the king of gods, and the mortal Alcmene, he was an affront to Hera, Zeus's jealous queen. Her hatred was a poison that seeped into his earliest days, a relentless curse laid upon his cradle. While still an infant, Hera sent 2 serpents to his bedchamber, their venomous fangs meant to silence his cries forever. But even then, the nascent power within him stirred. The baby Heracles, with innocent, terrifying strength, crushed the life from the reptiles. It was a prelude, a chilling foreshadowing of the monstrous power that would one day turn inward, a seed of destruction planted by the gods themselves, destined to blossom into a nightmare. His life began not with glory, but with the ominous whisper of death, a shadow that would cling to him, unyielding, unforgiving. As Heracles matured, so too did his legend. His strength became the stuff of awe, his courage unyielding in the face of impossible beasts. He conquered the Nemean lion, its impenetrable hide a testament to his raw power. He faced the Lernaean hydra, a multi-headed terror whose regeneration seemed to mock his efforts. With each impossible feat, his fame grew, cementing his place in the pantheon of heroes. He took the princess Megara as his wife, and their union bore him children, bringing a fleeting semblance of peace to a life destined for turmoil. He had a home, a family, the very foundations of a normal existence. Yet, beneath the veneer of heroic triumph, an unseen tension coiled within him. The divine blood that coursed through his veins, the constant shadow of Hera's enmity, the sheer, unimaginable power he wielded. All these elements brewed a storm, slowly eroding the fragile bulwarks of his sanity. The hero was ascending, but the man was subtly, horrifyingly beginning to unravel. Hera's animosity was not a fleeting peak. It was a consuming inferno, stoked by infidelity and perceived slight. She did not merely wish for Heracles' death. She craved his suffering, his utter ruin. Her methods were insidious, her touch a corruption that twisted the very fabric of his being. She did not strike him down with lightning or unleash monsters directly upon his hearth. Instead, she chose a far more terrifying weapon, his own mind. Hera's curse was a slow-acting poison, a whisper in the dark corners of his consciousness, an invisible hand that slowly, inexorably, tightened its grip on his reason. The hero, celebrated for his clarity and resolve in battle, found his inner landscape shifting, blurring. Moments of intense rage, bouts of melancholia, the feeling of unseen eyes upon him. These were the early tremors of the earthquake to come. The divine madness was not an abrupt lightning strike, but a creeping fog, obscuring his perception, distorting reality, until the lines between love and hate, protector and destroyer, vanished entirely. The fog became a tempest, the whispers a deafening roar. In the grip of a delusion orchestrated by Hera, Heracles' world inverted. His beloved Megara, his cherished children. In his tortured mind, they transformed into grotesque enemies, monstrous threats demanding annihilation. The protector became the predator. The home, once a sanctuary, was transformed into a killing ground. The terrifying strength that had felled lions and hydras was turned, with brutal, unthinking efficiency, upon the innocent. He saw not the faces of his loved ones, but the distorted visages of his perceived foes. He heard not their pleas, but the imagined battle cries of his enemies. The act itself was a blur of primal instinct and divine malevolence, a visceral horror played out within the confines of his own mind. What he committed was an unspeakable desecration, a grotesque mockery of his vows, robbing his family of their lives and himself of his very soul. The silence that followed, after the echoes of the struggle faded, was more deafening than any scream, a testament to the absolute void left behind. Then, as suddenly as it had descended, the divine madness lifted. The distorted lens through which Heracles had viewed his world shattered, revealing the grotesque tableau he had wrought. The faces of his enemies dissolved, replaced by the broken forms of Megara and his children. The battle cries transformed into the chilling echoes of their last, terrified breaths. The realization was not a gradual dawning, but a lightning bolt of pure, unadulterated horror. The hero awoke not to victory, but to a charnel house of his own making, his hands stained, not with the blood of monsters, but with the essence of his own family. The profound grief that consumed him was a living thing, tearing at his sanity, leaving him a shattered husk. He recoiled from himself, a monster in human form, a murderer of the innocent. The world that had once celebrated him now offered only the mirror of his own devastation. His mind, once clouded by delusion, was now perfectly clear, perfectly aware of the unforgivable tragedy he had unleashed, a burden heavier than any monster he had ever faced. Despair, profound and absolute, drove Heracles to the brink of self-destruction. But the fates, and perhaps Hera's lingering desire for prolonged suffering, had other plans. He sought absolution, a way to cleanse the indelible stain from his soul. He journeyed to Delphi, the sacred seat of Apollo's oracle, desperate for guidance. The Pythia, speaking with the voice of the god, pronounced his penance. He was to serve King Eurystheus of Tiryns, a man he despised, for 12 long years. During this servitude, he was to undertake 10 seemingly impossible tasks, later expanded to 12 due to Eurystheus's cunning. This was not a path to redemption paved with glory, but a grotesque penance, a forced degradation. Each labor was not merely a physical challenge, but a ritualistic cleansing, a prolonged torment designed to break his spirit, even as it rebuilt his legend. It was a servitude that stripped him of his autonomy, forcing the mightiest hero to become a slave, his power now a tool for a cruel king's whims. The 12 labors, celebrated as the pinnacle of Heracles' heroism, were in truth a succession of blood-soaked mutilations, not always of the body, but of the soul. Each task was a grotesque parody of divine absolution, forcing the hero to confront not just mythical beasts, but the very depths of his own monstrous capacity. He wrestled the Erymanthian boar, a creature of pure, destructive force, its capture a grim echo of his own unrestrained power. He cleansed the Augean stables, not merely a feat of strength, but an act of profound degradation, forcing the demigod to wallow in filth and decay, a symbolic washing away of his own defilement. The Stymphalian birds, with their bronze beaks and razor claws, filled the air with their terrifying cries, their slaughter, a brutal exercise in terror and despair. With the mares of Diomedes, he was forced into a dance of savagery, taming horses that fed on human flesh, their wildness a mirror of his own past madness. Each labor chipped away at his humanity, forcing him to commit acts of sustained brutality, transforming the murderer into an instrument of methodical destruction. He was both the butcher and the butchered, his soul slowly flayed by the demands of his penance. Heracles completed his penance, but at what cost? The 12 labors, a testament to his unparalleled strength, could never erase the memory of that terrible night. He emerged from his servitude not as a purified hero, but as a man eternally haunted, his triumphs forever shadowed by his unspeakable crime. His later deeds, his eventual apotheosis, were merely attempts to outrun the phantom limb of his past, a futile struggle against the indelible stain. The hero, the god, was forever marked by the blood of his own family, a chilling reminder that even the divine can succumb to madness, and that the path to glory is often paved with unimaginable horror. His story stands as a brutal paradox, the savior of humanity, yet also its greatest destroyer, a testament to the fragile line between heroism and monstrosity. His legacy is not merely one of strength, but of profound tragedy, a monument built upon the ruins of his own broken mind. The tale of Heracles, as taught in the sunlit annals of history, is one of triumph and divine power. But the 8th chapter pulls back the veil, revealing the chilling reality beneath the polished myth. His story is not just of a hero's journey, but of a soul's descent, a horrifying testament to the insidious nature of divine wrath and the fragility of the human mind. The madness that drove him to butcher his wife and children was not a simple fit of rage, but a meticulously orchestrated psychological terror, leaving him forever scarred. His brutal labors were not merely heroic deeds, but a blood-soaked penance, a prolonged mutilation of his spirit. History indeed is written by the victors, those who seek to sanitize the past and glorify their champions. But we at the 8th chapter believe in another truth, the raw, unsettling truth that lingers in the shadows, waiting to be told. Heracles was a hero, yes, but he was also a monster, and in that horrifying duality lies the true, terrifying power of his legend. This is the other chapter,